Hello, my name is Alberto Marquez, and in this video we're going to build a material handling model, particularly transporters using Arena. So let's go. First, we're going to do our basic model without create, and we know now that for material handling we need to specify a station, starting station, where the entity is going to be, and then we're going to leave that station by means of a leave block. And now we're going to receive the entity in the next station. We're going to have a gap there, and after that we maybe process the product, and maybe later we can just dispose. Very good. For the sake of completeness, we are going to do a sys delay release over a resource we're going to call machine 1, machine A. We're going to take one of those, and we have a queue right there. Very good. Now for the transporters, what we have is that they are individual entities, just like resources, but these are special resources that travel along with the entities from one location to the other location. So when we go to the leave, instead of saying transfer out by none, which what we did with the routes, what we're going to say is we're going to request a transporter, and more menus appear indicating the type of queue we're going to have, the name of the transporter, and what is the rule for selecting the next transporter, which could include random, or just bring the one that is the closest one, or bring the one that is the farthest one. And that's how we request a transporter. It's like calling a cab. And then once the cab arrives, what we do is we transport. And where do we transport, or how do we know where to transport? In this case, we can specify that we're going to the other station, enter one station. Very good. That's what we need to do on the leave end. Now, when we arrive on the other side, the transferring is not known. The transferring is free transporter. That's because we want to be able to free the transporter to make the next trip, either going back or taking entities from this location to another location. And the transporter name is the transporter 1. Now this is a family, could be a family of transporters. So far we have not specified that. We have not specified how many we have, but we have specified that when it arrives, it should free the transporter name, transporter 1. So we can check in the material handling the transporters, and here we have the number of units. Let's say that we have 10 of them, and we can also have a distance, that is the distance that connects at different stations, and the traveling speed or velocity through the path. Let's say that the speed is 10 units per hour. The distance does not need to be specified as long as we're consistent, because if we say here it's 10 kilometers per hour, then distances should be kilometers, and if it's 10 meters per hour, then distances should be specified in meters. So in the distance, which is located in the material handling tab 2, we have it's already written for us the transporter distance, because that's what the software suggested when we enter the transporters data in transporter 1. So when we go to the distance, we have, so far we have 0 rows specified. We need to specify all the possible ways that a transporter can travel. In this case, it's going to go from station 1 to station, enter 1 station. And let's say that the distance is 20 units. Very good. That's enough for us to execute this model. I think we're making the assumption that the distance from station 1 to enter 1 station is 20, and then we can walk back or travel back the same path backwards in exactly the same distance. Sometimes the distance going in one direction are maybe different from going in the opposite direction, and that's not a problem. We can specify that here. Let's say going in one direction is 20, and coming back is a little longer, 24. Okay, so if the transporter needs to travel back to the station 1, it will travel empty, but we still need to specify that distance. If it's not, I mean, if it's a different size. So that works like that. And let's see if this should work. We have transporters, we have the distance. Let's try. Yep, there it goes, and it's working fine. The entities are traveling through the system by means of transporters. We have not done the animation. We're going to do the animation in another case. Remember to ask me your questions if you have any, and stay in touch.